Sofi. I'm currently at Kechara Forest Retreat, Bentong, Malaysia. Previously, I had shared on how to recite Buddha's mantra, and recently on taking refuge vows and the benefits of holding refuge vows. So today, I'll be sharing on the power of chanting mantras. I would like to recap on the recitation of mantra. Buddha Shakyamuni had gained enlightenment 2,500 years ago through his 3 aeons of ethical conduct, virtue, practices, and renunciation. Buddha's enlightenment, based on altruism and skillful means, is able to manifest in body, speech, and sight. The manifestations of sound is called mantras. Every time you recite, the power of your speech invoke upon Buddha's 3 aeons of merits, virtue, and practice into you. Mantras are words of power that could transform our delusion, transform our unhappiness, and our hatred, our impatience. It helps us to find the kindness in us that can benefit others. Mantras also can be used to develop powerful concentration and meditation awareness. How much we create sufferings for others is dependent on our level of awareness. For example, if a person is already in a bad mood, and if we are aware, we will do everything to avoid creating conditions that will aggravate his bad mood. Instead, we may think of other ways to maybe lighten his mood. Awareness is also the key to survival. Do you know how many accidents happen when we're on the handphone and we're not aware of our surroundings? That is why we have to have that level of awareness with us all the time. And also, awareness is the key to success. Being aware of opportunities out there. Maybe if you're a student, being aware if there's a scholarship that you could, use to lighten the burden of your parents. Or maybe if you're in business, being aware of contracts that's available that you can participate in. Or maybe if you're working, then job advancement that is open, before. Just take the opportunity before somebody else grabs it. So the level of awareness is very important in our lives. And awareness in meditative state can help us to perceive otherworldly beings and even develop clairvoyance. So realize the quality of mantra, set good motivation to benefit others, and chant the mantra to invoke the 3 aeons of Buddha's blessings into us. Now that we've learned the mantras that are powerful, is a powerful form of Buddha's speech, how can we increase the power of the mantra that we recite? This is where upholding our vows comes in. This is, as I've shared on refuge vows. Refuge vows are our motivation to be that better person by refraining from negative actions that brings us suffering. With mindfulness, focus, and determination, we practice to eliminate the root cause, which in our selfish mind constantly search for that happiness for ourselves. By taking refuge vows, we are committed to not hurting others, including those that we perceive as our enemies. By taking refuge vows, we make the commitment to ourselves that we wish to gain attainment and be out of suffering. Our refuge vows consisted of 10 vows, which focus on discipline, self-discipline, and in refraining from the 10 non-virtuous actions committed through our body, speech, and mind. The 3 vows of the body is not killing, not stealing, no sexual misconduct. The 3 vows of the mind is envy, hatred or malicious intent, and wrong views. So the last 4, which is of the speech. Divisive speech. This is using speech to divide people, families, friends, couples, business partners, or even on the governmental level, where leaders, could use this to make enemies, of cooperating countries. So That is very powerful, you know. And harsh words, when we use words that we know will intently make others, you know, will hurt others or harm others. Harsh words also can include like swearing and idle chatter, which in other words, gossip. This may seem minor, but the easiest to commit. You know, when you go out with your friends for that cup of tea and you sit down and have a quick chat, well, if it's not productive, then you'll be chatting about the family, friends and all that. That would be idle chatter. Or maybe, you know, when you have a quick chat with your co-worker that is not work related, that could be considered as idle chatter too. So we have to be very mindful when we talk with others that it does not commit this against this idle chatter. Wow. And lying, well, you know what lying is. It's not the truth. But did you know that each time you break your promise, it constitutes a lie? I think many of you never thought of that, did you? I didn't until I learned of it. So always keep your promise. Okay, speech is very important. It can be used to create harmony and happiness for others. When misused, it could create so much unhappiness, misunderstanding, or even start a war. As such, in holding the vows for speech, we are holding virtue, we are upholding virtue. And when we mindfully put in the effort to hold our 4 vows of speech very well, and with good motivations to benefit others, we collect merits. So imagine how powerful our speech will become. As such, when we recite mantra, how much more powerful the effects of our recitation. With this, we can help others better. Imagine if you were to recite mantra to bless or to help others in their problems and it's effective. How wonderful that would be, wouldn't it? That is what we strive to achieve, is to help others. So with the virtue of upholding your vows and reciting mantra with good motivation, you're on your start towards eventually developing the Buddha's 60 qualities of speech, such as being heard clearly at a comfortable level, comfortable volume. You know, even if you are sitting near, or maybe if you're sitting very far away, you receive it very clearly. And or you can be, when you speak, people will understand no matter what level they are at, their level of understanding. You know, they'll understand what you share or what you speak of. And also, your speech may propel the receiver, you know, towards starting their own path towards spiritual achievement, you know, towards enlightenment. So having good speech helps a lot. Not only helps, but it's very powerful. So together with mantra recitation, then you get very powerful mantra effect that will help others. So as such, I will end my sharing for today. And thank you for listening. So now I will go to Facebook and answer some questions. Sorry, my handphone doesn't show up. So right. There's a question from Chris. How chanting mantra helps us with our awareness? Because as we chant mantra, this was shared in my previous sharing. So when we are chanting mantra, we can focus our attention, and as we focus, then our awareness will increase, because we are concentrating. Yeah. So I will let me get back to you on this, because currently I'm not so sure of my answer. So I would give you my reply in the Facebook comment section. And a question from Yin Teo: can I chant mantra anywhere and anytime I want? Yes, definitely. You can chant mantra anywhere and anytime you want. It's very good that if you have free time, that you use it to chant mantra, so to gather the merits, instead of just sitting idle there, or whatever, you're standing or in a busy area, you can do that too. Right, from Pastor Jinai: can you please give a specific example of divisive speech and the consequence of engaging in it? Okay, the first part I could answer, the example would be, let's say if you have two very good friends, and maybe from your side with bad motivation or bad intent, that you feel jealous or you wish to have better attention from one of them, and you create schismatic comments. Maybe you can say like, the other person say something of you, and then you go to the other friend and say, oh, that person say something of you, and as such you create that misunderstanding, that they may take it wrongly and start to have their quarrels, and they break up. So that is how divisive speech would take place. It could be on the level of maybe like even like high, in the country, where the country leaders, they wish to be a better partner of that country, maybe, and then they create some allegations or something like that. So, and okay, the consequence of engaging in it. You collect negative karma, and maybe in the future you may be without friends or anyone that would support you, because you have also created that condition for another. And Pastor Jinai has another. You mentioned that harsh word, including swearing. Are harsh words always reflective of negative, bad intent? Which one is worse, harsh or loud words said with love, like mother scolding the child, or soft-spokenness hiding malicious or bad intent? Oh, definitely the harsh word accompanied with negative motivation will be the one that's against the vow. And for a mother, usually it's with good intent, that they want the children to be better, so they would scold with harsh words but with good motivation. And for those who are soft-spoken, hiding malicious or bad intent, of course this is bad, because you're hiding the truth, that you're doing something with intent to harm. So that is, of course, definitely the soft-spoken will be the worst. Okay, from Pastor Jinai: in speaking about the consequences of divisive speech, you said that you collect negative karma. That is a given and very general. Can you please elaborate? I have not gone into and I do not know the answer. So as such, I will answer you later in the comment section. Is it possible for someone to swear out of compassion? Another question by Pastor Jinai. Yes, it is. They could swear it with the motivation to shake the other person out of their mental state. So it could be with good intention. So it's not necessarily bad. So it depends also on the intention itself. Question from Yi Yin Teo. She reposted. If someone is very new to Buddhism, what mantra should we teach them? This, you can actually teach them something that they may be comfortable with, that is quite general, which is like the Buddha Charanzik, who is Buddha of compassion, that you can teach them Om Mani Padme Hum, or you can teach them Manjushri's mantra, which is Buddha of wisdom, Om Arapazanadi, or you can teach them Buddha's mantra itself. Yeah, that one. And another question from Pastor Jinai. Would they be breaking their refuge vows then? In that case, as you mentioned, not using harsh words like swear words as being one of the refuge vows. As I mentioned also in my sharing, that in holding refuge vows, it also comes with your motivation. So maybe I was not clear on that, but whatever we do, we always, the motivation is also very important. So it would, I would say that, no, sorry, not say, because it can't be based on my words, but no, I would, it would be better that I answer it later once I find out the true answer, because I'm not sure and I cannot answer that. Thank you. And Pastor Jinai has a very helpful advice. Please post some links to blog posts where people can learn these mantras. It will be very helpful for new listeners. Yes, I will do that. It's a very good idea. Okay, is there any other questions? Okay, a question from Yi Yin Teo. You said about idle chatter just now. If we don't talk about work with our colleague and we talk about other things, it will be considered to be idle chatter. How can we avoid this? For this, for idle chatter, we have to be very mindful that if it's not necessary, then don't waste the time, to chat. I mean, like, well, okay, as I understand it for myself, this is for myself. I understand it that you do not waste your speech to just simply talk of nonsensical things, and to make it to, whenever you speak, to be relevant to helping others, and that, or maybe for your work, or for something that that you need to use. I mean, like for daily. Well, let me answer it in the FB post, because I would prefer to be more exact. So rather than, you know, sharing something that is not. From Yin Teo, are you saying that we don't talk at all? What about if I talk about what we will be having for lunch later? Is it with a purpose that we need to? It is with a purpose that we need to eat, right? That is correct. But I will answer in full later, so it will be related to your first question. Okay, so the questions is up to here now, and I wish to thank you again for joining me. And now I will end it with a dedication prayer. Giang Ju Sen Jo Rinpoche, Ma Ke Pa Nam Ke Yu Shi, Ke Pa Nam Pa Me Pa Yang, Gon Ning Gon Du Pe Wa Shu, Toni Tong Wa Rinpoche, Ma Ke Pa Nam Ke Yu Shi, Ke Pa Nam Pa Me Pa Yang, Gon Ning Gon Du Pe Wa Shu, Da So Ji Ni Sa Pa Ge Wa Di, Tan Tan Tro Wa Gon Na Gam Pa Da, Je Pa Je Sun Lo San Tra Pa Yi, Tam Ping In Po Rin Du Sa Se Shu, Ke Wa Kun Tu Yan Da La Ma Da, Tra Me Cho Ki Pa La Lo Jo Jing, Sa Dam Lang Yi Yo Te Ra Zo Ne, Do Je Chang Yi Ngao Pa Ngo Tu So, Ke Wa Di Yo Do Da, La Ma Sang Yo Dro Ne, Dro Wa Chi Kia Ma Lu Pa, De Sa La Go Pa Shu, Cho Ki Kia Po Sung Ka Pa, Cho Sun Nam Pa Pe Wa La, Ge Ki Sa Ma Si Wa Da, Tung Ki Ma Lu Sang Wa Shu, Adam Sung Yo Do Sun Dan, Dre Wa Song Yi La Te Ne, Ge Wa Lo San Tra Pa Yi, Tam Pa Yu Ri Ba, Gyu Shi, Ni Mo De Le Sen De Le, Ni Me Gu Nyan De Le Shi, Ni Sen Ta Tu De Le Pao, Kun Chu Sung Yi Jing Yi Lo, Kun Chu Sung Yi Ngo Tru So, Kun Chu Sung Yi Tra Se Sho, Je Sun Lam Ma Ku Sen Rap Ping Ching, Nam Ka Tri Ni Cho Chu Ge Pa Da, Lo Sam Tem Pe Dro Me Sap Sung Yi, Dro He Mun Sa Tak Tu Ni, Gyu Shi, Gang Wei Ra Wei Ko Wei Shin Kam Den, Pen Dan De Wa Ma Liu Gyu Wen Ne, Chen Ren Zit Wan Ten Sing Gap So Yi, Sha Pe Shi De Ba Du Den, Gyu Shi. Home Tông Pe Ngo Tru Ma Lu Pa, Den De Da La Sao Du So, Ko Dan Den Pa Long Chok Nam, Ke Pa So Shik Shuk Ten Sel. Thank you.